Ron DeSantis is on the defensive following the almost inevitable next step in his book banning campaign, which is that books have been banned that even right-wingers can't defend the banning of, particularly a biography of baseball star Roberto Clemente. So Clemente's book apparently was flagged for being taken off because it references racism that he dealt with as a Black Puerto Rican baseball player. It's been removed from the district's libraries for months pending review in compliance with the state's newly passed Stop Woke Act. So because he mentions racism, he did a CRT, obviously, and so the book must burn. That's the policy, except that DeSantis doesn't like it because it's absurd that you would have to take this book down. Let's stop for a brief second to point out that it's equally absurd to strip the libraries and curriculum of any number of different African-American scholars, queer scholars, all of that. But this is one that they can't defend, and so he's lashing out, saying that this is an outlandish stunt. DeSantis, we know, hates outlandish stunts. He's not a fan of them. He claims it has nothing to do with the new laws. I will remind you, he just signed this week into law a new version of his program where he spends millions and millions of Floridians' dollars to take migrants from like Texas and ship them to Wisconsin. So again, shut up about the stunts. Anyway, he says they're manufacturing the Roberto Clemente thing to create a narrative. Again, this entire thing, the entire Stop Woke Act, the entire thing of banning the books is to create a narrative. So how dare they get in on the fun, I suppose. So anyway, Anna, he's on the defensive. I think this is the first of many instances of this. They're gonna take all sorts of books out and people are rightly going to be freaked out about it.
Oh, Ronnie. Oh, Ronnie.
Oh, see, Meatball.
Every once in a while, you run into a brick wall when you don't really understand your own constituents. We're talking about Florida. We're talking about an autobiography by a star baseball player, a legend, okay? I'm very familiar with the Latino community in Miami in particular, okay? Cubans,
You've done
Puerto
in-depth
Ricans.
research.
Yes, and they love baseball. I mean, it is part of their culture. My husband, who's Cuban, was a professional baseball player. It is a huge part of their lives. So when books like that start to get banned and burned, all of a sudden it awakens people to how insane this form of censorship is. And hopefully they understand it's insane when it comes to books written by Black authors, books written by members of the LGBTQ community, okay? Censorship destroys education. And I think that's also part of the objective for these conservatives. It's much easier to control an ignorant public that doesn't have the education necessary to actually fight back against tyranny, fight back against authoritarian regimes. So, I love the fact that he's now trying to find a scapegoat for what happened when the fish rots from the head down.
Yeah, it rots from the meatball down. Anyway, yeah. First of all, I don't accept that this is a purposeful stunt or whatever. I think they flagged literally everything that references racism, gender identity, basically any interesting or controversial topic. And they're getting rid of it because they're worried about being fired because that's what the law is. But even if they did, good. I want the librarians of Florida to use whatever tools they have, and these are apparently the tools they have, to point out how ridiculous this is. As Anna said, when you open the door to this fascist control of literature and education, people need to know about it. They need to understand how serious this is. Apparently 1.6 million titles are under review because of this. And that sounds bad, but bear in mind that school teachers and librarians had nothing but time leading up to this. They had just so much free time. Why shouldn't they review literally millions of books to make sure that they won't hurt anyone's opinion or anyone's feelings who hasn't even read them and never would? I'll also remind you, by the way, sorry.
Sorry about that, John. I just wanted to say, it is kind of interesting because a theory or a prediction I have is that all of this government attention on banning books might make reading cool. It might.
I hope so.
Yeah, because I mean, nothing makes something cooler than the government trying to ban it. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, if this leads to just endless Gen Z TikToks of books that they're in the process of reading, I would love it. But no, I think I tweeted like a week ago, can Gen Z please bring back bookstores? Because they bring back retro stuff, wired headphones and pocket cameras and everything. Bring back the bookstore so I can get out of this news thing and just open up a cafe combined with a bookstore. Anyway.
John, what if you and I start doing like dramatic readings of some of the books that have been banned in Florida?
That's not a bad idea.
That could be fun.
So I actually do dramatic readings already, but they're of the ridiculous fantasy stories that I write. I do them on my Patreon every month.
Doesn't matter. I mean, you have practice, so that's good.
You know what I could do? I could start putting more sexual content into my stories so they get banned, and then peanut butter and chocolate. Anyway, but I do like that idea. There should be dramatic excerpts read on TikTok. Anyway, and also as he's protesting, by the way, I want to read one more thing. Where is it? So DeSantis is saying, blah, 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 we're not doing this. And then this guy, Manny Diaz, Florida's commissioner of education, he says, Florida does not ban books. What the hell are you talking about? Do you know what your job is? Do you know what state you're in? Do you know who you work for? They very much do. And as if to just put the cherry on the sundae of that, we don't ban books. Marjorie Greene and George Santos are co-sponsoring a bill to seek a federal ban of certain books from schools.
Oh my God.
Dave Rubin, it's people, don't burn this book. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.